Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 3, Episode 6, and today we play our final game of the league season with Slough Town, away at Woking. But unfortunately, as you can see by the table, Hemel Hempstead and Dartford have ruined our drama today. They both had their games delayed last weekend because of FA Trophy ties, and unfortunately neither of them won their games, and as a result we're already guaranteed a playoff place. However, there are still some permutations. We can finish as high as third, where we sit at the moment, or we could be all the way down in sixth and away from home in the playoff quarterfinals. Obviously, if we finish in third, we miss the quarterfinals entirely and skip straight through to the semis, which those of you who followed me in FM18 will know would be a blessing in disguise, because we have got one of the worst quarterfinal playoff records that you will ever see. However, I think what should be said as a football fan is, looking at that table generally, if Bromley don't win the playoffs, it will be a travesty to football. They're 20 points clear of the rest of us, and let's be honest, this is the sort of league at the moment where there should be 2 automatic promotions and they shouldn't bother with the rest. But for us, a fantastic overachievement this season. You can see our job security is absolutely brilliant. What's that? 88%. That's a fantastic achievement. And we've really got to look to pounce on that in the summer. The reason being is I can't see how we can do this again with Slough. We've got the third least defeats in the league. We've got so many wins under our belts. We're the top scorers in the league with 95. And I know it's unlikely, but if we get 5 today, we'll breach 100 goals in a league season, which is an absolutely fantastic achievement. And we won't worry too much about what's happened at the other end, where we're comfortably in mid-table. But we will have a look at the job search screen in the summer, but we'll give Slough Town the respect of not looking before we finish the playoffs, because they deserve our utmost attention at the moment, having been the club that gave us a chance at a difficult time in our career. Since you were last with me, we had a youth intake and we've had about 10 games, but neither of them were particularly exciting. So if we go to our under-18s, we have signed the youth prospects, but there was only one that was even worth talking about. That's Tyo Barker, a striker. 15 years of age, he's 1-star ability with 4-star potential. He does lack determination, and again, technically he's not very good. Physically he'll develop because he's only 15, but mentally and technically we have to be worried. Having said that, his work rate and his pace may get him through a little bit. And when we get to pre-season next year, if we're still here, we'll get him in the first team working with some of our experienced pros. Moving on to the schedule, we've had those 10 games as we spoke about. You were last with me for that Hemel Hempstead tie where we completed the double against our former side. One of the best achievements of this career so far, and very enjoyable for both myself and Aaron Jarvis. We did follow that up though with a 1-0 defeat to Bromley, though as you saw from their league position, that's no mean feat. They're 19 points clear of us despite the fact they're only 1 position above us in the league, and they very much deserve their win on the day. We followed it up with another one of our crazy games at home. Another 7 goals for us, but we conceded 3 again, including 1 in stoppage time. We were actually 2-0 down in this game. Aaron Jarvis got a brace though. Jatta got a hat-trick. Makaka and Kane scored. The youngster's starting to make his way in the first team now. And to go from 2-0 down to 7-2 up was quite a remarkable achievement in that one. And we ended up winning comfortably. And it was the start of an absolutely perfect March. We followed it up with a 3-1 win at Havant and Waterlooville. Again, we conceded an early goal, but Daly and then a Jatta brace won us the game in the second half. We beat Bath 3-0 at home with Jatta again getting a brace in that one. Makaka scored 2 as we wrapped up a comfortable win after Bath went down to 10 men. We then went away to Chesham, who were one of our crazy games in the first half of the season. This one wasn't much better, a 4-2 win. Jarvis with a brace, Jatta and Atkinson scoring. Into April and things went wrong immediately. Carshalton at home we lost 3-2. Aaron Jarvis got a brace, but we were already 2-0 down at half time. And former Luton youngster Arthur Reed scored the winner for them. We did beat Weldstone though, they're 4th in the league at the moment, just behind us on the same points. Pappy Gay got a brace and Jatta scored. Brandon Kane, the youngster, again scoring a goal in that one. And we just about managed to cling on in the end. Before a 3-3 draw at home to Welling, this was an absolutely brilliant result. With 15 minutes to go, we'd been outplayed, we were absolutely terrible and losing 3-0. We went all out attack, brought Pappy Gay on for Aaron Jarvis, and he turned up with a hat-trick in the last 15 minutes. It was absolutely wonderful stuff, and a very unexpected point in that one. You can see aside from Gay, the star man of that team with the highest rating was Brandon Kane, and that cemented his place in the first 11 for the rest of the season. We went away to Maidenhead and drew 1-1. Aaron Jarvis with a late equaliser in that one. We didn't really deserve it, but we were happy to take it. And then in the last game, we won 2-1 at home to Chippenham Town. Again, Brandon Kane played well, but it was Jarvis and Gay with the goals. The only concern at the moment is our top scorer and goal machine, Seika Jatta's got a few games without one now. And going into the playoffs, it's not the ideal situation. But hopefully he can end that today, and we'll go into them full of confidence. Last but not least, we've got one transfer to talk about. We mentioned him as a goal scorer at one point during that. His name is Rob Atkinson. We got him on a free from Alfreton. He's a centre-half and he sort of fits the way we play because we just needed a big aerial presence. We defend quite deep, so his pace isn't an issue. And at 34, he's got all the experience in the world. And he's got that determined personality which we've been using for our mentoring. And it's worked an absolute treat. A fantastic player and a good addition to the side who's managed an average rating of 7. But let's get into the game. There's not too much to worry about today, but I'd really love to finish third. It's unlikely that we're going to be able to get a win away to Woking, but the most important thing if we can't do that is to finish in the top 5 so we get a home tie in the quarter-final. Obviously, there's a chance we could still face Hemel Hempstead again yet. If we manage to play them, I'd be quite confident because they're one of the only teams in the league we've done a double over this year, particularly out of the top half sides. But at the start of the season, we were expected to finish in 12th place, and this is an absolute miracle and a fantastic achievement for us. And we're delighted to finally get this career back on track after 2 terrible seasons at the start of the save. Let's look at the lineup we've got for today. Both teams in inconsistent form, as so much of this league has been by the top 2. We've got a fairly familiar side out now. The only positions that aren't really set in stone are right back where we've got Atkinson or Williams-Lowe, and central midfield where we're choosing between Kane and Ramirez. Ramirez has been out injured and Kane's taken his chance, so we'll keep him in there for now. Lewis Redding's coming for Owen James, just for a game's rest before the playoffs. James has had a poor week in training, and we wanted to show him you can't just get away with that. Papi Gay has to settle for a place on the bench as we're desperate to get Jatta back in form for the playoffs. Hopefully he'll get his goal today, and Aaron Jarvis has been in good form so stays up there with him. Let's get into it and fingers crossed we can get some sort of result and finish in the top 3 or 5 of the league. Woking playing a 4-2-3-1, very attacking. I suppose in mid-table they've got nothing to lose, they just want to put a show on for the fans on the final day. We're going to encourage the lads and fingers crossed that we don't go into the playoffs with humiliation and embarrassment. It has happened a couple of times this season where we've just had the odd game we've got absolutely outclassed. Freeman comes and smothers it at the striker's feet there. It could have been a very early goal if it wasn't for that. But Dearman with a throw on the left to Kane. Dearman crosses, headed away, but it's only to the edge of the box and Daly gets it down, but his shot's just over the bar and after a couple of minutes it's still 0-0, but we've had the first shot of the game. It's a long goal kick which Makaka knocks away. Jatta tries to get on the end of it, but it's all the way back to the Woking keeper. He goes long to halfway, but only as far as Makaka. Daly over the top. Jatta chases, but it's headed away again. And now Bird can bring it over halfway for Woking. Long over the top, but Atkinson heads away. And Bird's got it again, 25 yards out on the right. A wonderful curling cross, but Freeman comes and claims it confidently. He's got the ball at the back. He's gone for the long kick. Jarvis wins the ball in the air as normal. And Daly gets the ball on the right-hand side. Takes on the man. A big cross to the back post. Jatta with the header and it's just wide. I thought that was the moment. But we've had the only shots of the game so far. And 2 chances that we really could have done better with. Nearly 20 minutes on the clock now. A goal kick for Woking which goes long over the top. Rob Atkinson's winning the headers as he so often does. Dearman wins the second one but this falls for Lua. Wood on the left who's been their danger man so far. He's got in a couple of times. Dearman heads it away for Reading and now Jatta on halfway. We've got a couple of runners if he can find them. He gets Jarvis in one-on-one. Great run from Jarvis but Greaves blocks the shot. Brilliant defending by their centre-half, but a wonderful ball through from Jatta, and Jarvis has been finishing them recently. Atkinson wins the header from the corner, but shot all the keepers down to his left to make the save. Cook with a throw-in for them to Lua. Burden now over the top again. Derry's in one-on-one. Back to the edge for Lua. Has the shot. It's in the bottom corner. And undeservedly Woking lead. Only their second shot of the game. And it's into the bottom corner. They've just been more clinical than us, despite our domination. Williams-Lowe and Jarvis flicks it on. The throw-in's cleared away and now Lua goes long. Derry on the left-hand side. They look so dangerous on the counter. We're not following their midfield runners quicker, but Makaka gets there this time. Kane over the top, but is headed away to Makaka. He gets it straight over to Jatta, who's in one-on-one. Beats the man, but Shottle makes the save. And that again could have been a chance to end his goal drought. And a confident Jatta would have been finishing these. Dearman with the outswinging corner to the back post. McCarker wins it, but again it's straight at the keeper. He comfortably holds, and after 25 minutes it's still 1-0. Nearly half an hour gone now, it's Cook with a throw-in for Woking at right back. Bird over the top to Derry, who's been running off the ball well in this game. He's got to the right byline, crosses to Wood at the back post. Williams Lowe heads it away, but it's only as far as Price in the left back area. They've got it forward to Lure again in the 25-yard zone. He's just floating between the defence and midfield. In that number 10 role, he's causing all sorts of trouble now. He's fallen out to their midfield again, 30 yards out. Williams Lowe heads it away to Kane, and a highlight ends as we get the ball clear. Again, it's Hemel Hempstead causing us trouble. They've conceded against Welling and we've now dropped to 4th as a result. Hemel Hempstead have fallen out of the playoffs entirely, which means that when we're 4th, we then get a harder tie against Dartford. McCarker's got it back to Kane in the middle. Over the top on the left-hand side to Jatta. Finds McCarker on the edge, but it beats him, and Wood can bring it away for Woking. He charges over halfway down that left-hand side. He beats our man, finds Lure on the edge. It's a great effort by Lure, but Freeman tips it over. He's equal to it with a fantastic save this time. It's an out-swinging corner for Woking with Bird. From that right-hand side, Dearman clears it away. He finds Jatta near halfway. He holds it up well. Jatta switches the ball to the right-hand side for Daly. He loses out to Wood, but gets it back immediately. Daly taking on the fullback. Can he beat him? He doesn't. He crosses early. Cook gets there at the back post for Woking to clear, but only as far as Reading on the left byline. Cook heads it away again. Two fantastic bits of defending in his box. So often those first ones, you see it go as an own goal, but he managed to deal with it well, and now Woking on the counter. Price crosses it in. The centre midfielders come in and get on the end of it with a late run, but it's straight at Freeman who makes the save. We've got a corner just coming in stoppage time of the first half. Atkinson knocks it down for McCarker. And McCarker, as he so often has this season, it's his 11th goal. And so many of them have been that second ball from the corner. Just around that penalty spot zone, he hovers about. And as the ball gets knocked down, he smashes it into the corner of the net. Half time, it's 1-1. And what a perfect time to score that was. Let's give them the team talk. We're going to encourage them. They did alright, to be fair. They were probably just about the better side, but we conceded silly chances and we weren't clinical enough in front of goal. If Jatta was in form, I'd no doubt we'd be ahead in this game, but unfortunately we need to keep him on to try and get him a goal, unless that yellow card starts to become a problem. It's a throw-in on the left of Woking in an offensive area. Wood gets the ball to the midfielder. Lure over the top again. Williams Lowe heads away. McCarker over halfway. Over the top. Jarvis chases it, but Greaves heads away. And now they're coming forward again. They're just playing long ball football now. Okadina wins it and McCarker in the middle to Daly. Charging over halfway on the right-hand side. Another early cross towards Jatta, which Cook wins again. McCarker from the edge. It hits the bar. What a thunderous effort that was. Reading can't control the second one and it's cleared away. McCarker has been unbelievable today. A poor goal kick from Freeman and it's forward by Woking. They're countering us now with Bird on the right. Into Derry, shoots. Freeman atones for his error with a quite fantastic save. Up to his left hand side, top corner it was going, and a brilliant save by the keeper. Cook's been the star man for Woking today. If this was our other story part of the furniture, we'd be scouting him after this match, but we can't do anything in this save. We will go and have a look to see how good he is. He's a decent player, to be fair. Naturally a centre-half who's moved out to right-back, so he's got that jumping reach. He's a professional personality. He's the sort of player we'd love to have at the back, to be honest. Freeman with another brilliant save. One-handed in the top corner from a free kick. It looked like it was in. And now on the counter, Jatta's got Reading in on the edge of the box. Jatta's in the middle if he can find him. It deflects off Greaves and the keeper has to make a brilliant save down to his left. But what a save by the keeper. Freeman's made two saves right out of the top drawer in this game, both up to his left-hand side. And with 15 minutes to go, we're going to make some subs. Williams Lowe, the right-back's tired and on a booking, so Atkinson, the experienced man, comes on for him. In midfield, there's a couple of options, really. Brandon Kane's not had the best game and he's very young. We don't want him to lose his confidence, so we'll bring Ramirez on. He needs a bit of fitness before the playoffs after a long injury layoff. It's then either Jatta or the two wingers, but Redding's looking nervous and he doesn't normally start for us. Combined with the fact he's one of the most tired players on the pitch, we'll take him off and bring on the usual starter Owen James. And with 15 minutes to go, hopefully those changes can make an impact and nick us third place in the league. McCarker out to James on the left-hand side, goes for the shot from the inside left. McCarker again from the edge, it's blocked. A very strange time for a highlight to start. It was right at the end of the attack, and now Woking are on the counter. And maybe that's why they weren't too worried about the first half of the highlight, because this is just all leading up to a Woking effort. Lure gets the ball back to the midfielders, plays the 1-2, and he's charging at us again. He's been so good in that number 10 role, but again he's had so much time to do that. Derry's got the ball on the left byline, goes back to Price, and now Freeter. They're playing in midfield, but they've given it away to Daly. Jarvis has got Jatta in. Can he make it? Jatta chases it down, but the keeper gets there first, and his goal drought continues. With 5 minutes to go, it would just be so apt if he could be the hero, but unfortunately, he doesn't look like scoring. Lua goes for a shot from 30 yards. Freeman makes a save, and at the second time of asking, he holds it as the striker slid in on him. We're into the last couple of seconds of stoppage time. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. It doesn't. We're held to a 1-1 draw. I think Welling did beat Hemel Hempstead, so it's going to be 4th place for us. But we shouldn't be disappointed after this season. A really fantastic effort for 42 games. I know we had the odd awful day at the office. I think we had one of them on camera against Welling ourselves. But I couldn't be more pleased with the recovery in this series. After the first 2 seasons that was filled with disappointment, we finally had a good year and can look forward to an unexpected playoff campaign now. I don't know if it'll be a short or long one, but we've made it and that's the most important thing. Dulwich Hamlet won and broke 100 points, a good effort from them. Bromley won again. In any other season they would have been champions. Hemel Hempstead ruined it for us. We've now got a tough game against Dartford. If we could have finished 4th against Hemel or in 3rd place and avoided it entirely, that would have been great. But as it is, it's Slough v Dartford in midweek. Hopefully the lads will have recovered physically. We'll just go and see what they've said about the game. It was an even game, but we certainly had the better chances, although Freeman did have to save us a couple of times. Makaka was on form. He had a brilliant game himself. We're just going to praise him because he's been so consistent this season. He's never really been one of those who's had a rating of 6.1 or 6.0. He's always been 6.5 and above, and you can see, like today, he's had the odd standout game which takes his rating for the season above 7. So all in all, plenty of positives from this episode. We did mention we'd look at the job centre just to see if there's any that have come up. Obviously it's the last day of the league season in the Football League and non-league, so there'll be a few where teams have been relegated that pop up over the weekend. But we won't be looking at those until we finish the playoffs with Slough, and hopefully a couple of teams will approach us themselves. We had it in a Torquay save where we overachieved, and hopefully the same will happen here. The last bit of news from this episode is that the board have kindly agreed to send us on a coaching course, so we're doing our first badge now, and hopefully that will increase our reputation as we go along. You can see one of my former players, Declan Caddle, showing up there as a favoured personnel, or someone who's got the best opinion of me, so it was good to see I didn't lose the whole dressing room at Dungannon. But that will be all for this episode. If we go back to the home screen so you can see our brilliant achievement in the league. Jatta's still the top scorer in the competition. He's had a brilliant season, but I'm so worried about his goal drought. We had a similar thing in our Torquay save with Matt Foy. Towards the end of season 2, he just stopped scoring and you couldn't get another goal for love nor money. But hopefully that won't be the case with Jatta. The fans are behind him and we're behind him, mainly because we haven't got any other options. But if you did enjoy this video, please put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you think of our season. Do you think clubs from higher leagues will take a look at us? And might we be able to get a move on the back of this season? Also, give me your predictions for the playoffs. Are we going to go out in the quarter semis or final? Or are you one of the ultra optimistic ones that thinks we're going to win it? Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager content from my 2 FM19 stories. This one, The Head Coach, where we're currently with Slough Town, as you're obviously aware. As well as my other series, Part of the Furniture, the One Club Challenge with Torquay United, where we take them from the bottom playable league to the top of world football. Finally, there's a weekly series from FIFA 19 Career Mode, where we try to take Crewe Alexandra from League 2 to the top of the Premier League and Champions League victory. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and we'll see you next time.